This is the Bax Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Grant.
Welcome inside the studio. It is Friday, Grant. Sweet Lord in heaven and all things bright and beautiful.
Love it.
Ah, I'm so excited.
Congratulations to you all for making it through the week.
Thank you. The
I
listeners.
was saying
listeners?
to everybody, geez.
I'm part of everybody, Grant.
Do not be self-centered this
I'm
morning,
not self-centered. I've got coffee this morning, so I am fully aware of my faculties.
Alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic?
Sure, we'll go with that.
All right.
We're going to go with that. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. We are finishing up our first week of our official 5-day-a-week cycle. Remember, you can now listen to us Monday through Friday. Did you know that, Grant?
I did know that.
Oh, good.
I've been waking up early just to tell everybody, so I am well aware.
Well, fantastic. Yes, Grant is awake. I'm awake, which means you should be awake to listen to us Monday through Friday.
Because the sky's awake.
Because is that a book?
Frozen.
Can I? Oh.
The sky's awake, so I'm awake.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've seen Frozen. No one cares unless it's not Let It Go.
True. Very true.
Or I like warm hugs or whatever. Anyway, we could spend an hour talking about Frozen, but we're not going to. Anyway, remember, though, you can listen to us from 7 to 8 a.m. Central live right here on Spreaker.com, and then also from 11 to 1 Central on Sports Radio America, Live 365, and tune in. And then you can listen to us on demand anytime on iHeartRadio and on iTunes as well. And then on social media, Grant, we are all over the place, correct?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook at the Bax Grant Sports Show, or you can use the handle at BG Sports Show and find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. That is at BG Sports Show.
Exactly, yep. And you can watch us live on Periscope as well. So hello to all of you out there that are currently watching us on Periscope. Send in your comments and questions and continue to keep the banter going. We appreciate it, unless you're, going to trash talk somebody. Well, if you're going to trash talk somebody, do it respectfully, because we'd like to reiterate some of the comments that we get on air. Unless they're inappropriate. So we are a family show for the most part, so we try not to put anything on the air that will be offensive to younger ears. So you know how it works, Grant. You know the rules, right?
For the most part.
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part. Sometimes it might go a little crazy, but It
happens. But anyway, so we appreciate everyone's support. Please continue to like and share our social media pages. And if you ever have any longer extended comments or questions for us, you can email the show at bgsportshow@gmail.com. Or you can call and leave us a voicemail or text in at 262-324-2385. That's 262-324-2385. Well, Grant, it's Friday, so I feel like we need to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to later on in the show.
I'm excited.
We are going to be playing Name 5.
It's been so long.
It's been so long. We had our first Name 5 for 5 champion this summer, David Kenyon. A Bleacher Report came on, and he...
Not surprised.
He smoked everybody. He got the first 25 out of 25 ever in Name 5 history.
Not surprised at all.
The man is brilliant. He
0%
really
surprised.
Absolutely. So he will not be on today to defend his title. We'll actually have our European soccer correspondent on the show today, Grant. Simon Mitchell will be joining the show a little bit later on to talk about the UEFA Champions League draw, and the group stages are now set to go. And he's going to be jumping on to play Name 5. So we're going to have our own version of the Revolutionary War, USA versus England. Oh, you can't even be mad about that. It's over. That's 200 years old.
Get over it.
If that's still too soon, somebody out there needs to go.
Too soon.
No, it's never too soon, Grant. So we're going to have a little fun with that. Simon thinks he's going to be able to take on Grant and challenge him in a Name 5 competition. So that'll be later on in the show. Sam Wallace will be on the show a little bit later also to chat about his Running 101 segment. Today's going to be more of an introduction, more brief thing into the world of running, so that way he doesn't completely bombard the masses with his wonderful knowledge. But aside from all of those people, they're later on in the show. They're later. We don't necessarily need to get to them right now. But with someone we do need to get to is a good friend of the show. He was a man that asked for our autograph many a month ago, and he has transitioned into one of our favorite people that we enjoy having on the show. He is now an official married man, Grant. He's joined the club, and he is our golf insider, Joel Wolfrath. Welcome to the show, Joel.
Hey, it's good to be back, guys.
We appreciate you coming back. How are you doing? We haven't talked to you in so long.
Doing well. Yeah, it's good to be back NFL's on its way, so that's always the best time of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the rest of the world now is like, oh, the NFL is almost here.
It's like
We
better
can
than
fun-
Christmas.
Is it?
Yeah.
NFL is better than Christmas. Joel, do you agree with that?
Ooh, wow. Yeah, I do.
What about the NFL on Christmas?
It doesn't get any better than that.
That's true.
The Hannah Montana
That's
song,
it.
It's the Best of Both Worlds, should be playing when that happens.
Oh, my gosh. Things like that worry me, Grant, when you say that.
Get the best of both worlds.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, Joe, well, we have you back on to chat about the golf world, and we saw some interesting action last weekend as we had an older gentleman take the victory. I believe it was the FedEx Cup. Am I correct about that? Or what was
last weekend?
Yes, this last weekend we saw, was it Davis Love the third?
Yeah, that was at Greensboro.
Greensboro, that's correct. Okay.
Yep.
So moving forward, though, this coming week, we were talking about this before you came on the air. There's already been some interesting development in terms of a household name in the golf world that is not going to be playing in this tournament. Can you shed some light on who that is and what came to be?
Sure. So what happened was Tiger was kind of pushing his odds at playing in the FedEx Cup. He needed to play well or compete in the PGA Championship out at Whistling Straits, and he missed the cut. So for the fourth time this year, which I think is the first time he's ever missed 4 cuts in a year, so he needed to play well, so he ended up playing at Greensboro the next weekend, and I forget what he needed to do, but he needed to be in the top 1 or 2 players in order to make the FedEx Cup. And he gave it a run on Saturday, but ended up triple bogeying.
You're not gonna qualify for a PGA triple bogeying, that's for sure.
No, but he did. He was looking good though. The first few rounds of last weekend, he started to look a little bit more like the Tiger we were familiar with seeing years ago. But he just kind of was not clutch on the last day, and as a result, he's not playing in the FedEx Cup this year.
Do you think that for golf moving forward, in terms of just even this event, the fact that Tiger has missed 4, that this is detrimental to golf, or is there enough talent still mulling around that even though Tiger's not there, that the golf world will still move on?
Oh, I think the golf world has moved on a little while ago. There's still a lot of talent in the field. A lot of young guys, people rising up, taking all these championships. Jordan Spieth, obviously. So there's going to be talent, whether or not Tiger's a part of it. But it looks like he is slowly regaining some of the confidence that he may have lost a few years ago.
And I was listening yesterday that I was listening to some commentators speak on ESPN yesterday. They were saying that Tiger just hasn't played as much golf in the last calendar year as guys like Spieth and some of the other guys that are just lights out right now. I mean, which it makes sense because he's coming back into the game. He had his injuries for a while, so that sidelined him for a little bit. He hasn't been in every single tournament. He hasn't been doing every single thing like a Jordan Spieth or Phil Mickelson or some of those guys as well. So I can understand why he's struggling a little bit, but so right now, Joel, is the Barclays, is it the Barclays Cup? Is that the official name for it, or just the Barclays is what it is?
Just the Barclays.
Just the Barclays. So there's an $8.2 million purse for this tournament. So some chump change that they're just tossing out. Just another day on the course, I guess. I could go up.
Average.
It's an average day on the golf course, I guess, if you're playing for 8.2. But the current leaderboard right now, Joel, sees Bubba Watson, Spencer Levin, and Camilo Villegas and Tony Finau, all on the tied for first right now at 5 under. Bubba Watson, I'm not really surprised by that. As I'm looking at this top 10, Jordan Spieth is nowhere to be found, which is a bit surprising. I mean, I'm able to, as I keep scrolling down, Phil Mickelson comes in tied at 20th. Jason Day is in at 20th as well. And then I keep going down the list, and Jordan Spieth is nowhere to be found right now. Is there something going on with Spieth that some of us casual fans don't know about?
Well, it's only one day in. They only played yesterday. Spieth is tied for 95th currently, shooting a +4 on the first day.
Ouch.
74. So I did not see him play. I'm not exactly sure, but this is one of his younger years again. I just say I wouldn't be surprised if he might have a little bit of struggle in the championship rounds. Although he did.
Well, and he's been struggling of late too, which is a little raised a concern because he did great at the beginning of the season, and now the last couple of events, at least to me, I've been seeing that he's been struggling as of late.
Yeah, and that's just sometimes how the game of golf goes, though. It can be so unpredictable, and he could even come out, one round. What does that mean? 4 over on one day? That's not unrecoverable.
Absolutely.
So it'll be exciting to see where this goes.
Okay, now I'm curious to get your opinion on this. I think we briefly talked about this last time we had you on way back when we were talking golf. Jordan Spieth, he's only 21 years old. I remember when I was 21 years old and winning millions of dollars and having a $200 million Under Armour deal. And anyway, that was
usual stuff.
That was a good year for me in my lifetime. Anyway, and then I took an arrow to the knee. Anyway, I know, Skyrim reference. I know. Sorry, I just got really nerdy for a moment. Anyway, is it safe to say that Jordan Spieth is the future of golf right now? Is he the next Tiger Woods in terms of the popularity, where the fans, even the casual fans, are going to know the name Jordan Spieth?
Well, I think he's got his name out there in the hearts of golf viewers at this point. He's obviously done some amazing things this year, but being able to put him on the same level as some of the longtime greats is not. I don't think we're there yet. The longtime greats are these people who performed that way year after year after year after year.
Yes.
And we just don't have that long-term consistency that would make him a golf legend yet.
We'll see. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, well, since he's not, he's obviously prominent right now, but do you have maybe just a short list of 2 or 3 golfers aside from Spieth that are just on top of their game right now and obviously playing some of the lights out golf right now?
Jason Day is playing very well. Bubba Watson's shooting good too. A lot of the big names that have been big the last few years are still sitting atop the world leaderboard. Jordan Spieth obviously coming up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And stealing the number 1 in the world. But all of the guys who have consistently been good in the past are still good this year and are still going to put up a good competition for this year's playoffs.
Fair enough. Well, Joel, before we let you go, just real quickly, talking about more of just from a personal standpoint with golf, when you are on the course, Joel, and do you have any rituals or anything that you go through? Some golfers are very superstitious, I've heard. I don't know if you are or not, but when you're out playing the 18 holes with your family or with friends or whatever, do you have any special routines that you do before you play or while you're playing?
Special routines. Well, it is a little bit ritualistic when you're on the tee box or out in the fairway, like taking the exact same number of practice strokes in the exact same way, like just kind of line up behind your ball. And some of it is, I wouldn't call it superstitious, but your brain just instinctively performs these tasks in the same way when you do the same thing before each swing.
Okay.
And so actually there is a lot of benefit into having a pre-stroke ritual or doing the same thing before each round. It kind of keeps your brain getting used to doing the same tasks over and over and over again, and it kind of helps you ensure you're more consistent with your swing when your brain is trained to do that. So there's definitely actually a strategic advantage to such things.
Absolutely, yeah. Having that ritual can help you just get in the zone. Whether or not it's more of some people are superstitious about it, be like, oh, if I don't take 3 practice swings, I will, I'm going to slice it to the left or to the right. Well, I have one more question, courtesy of one of our viewers on Periscope. They wanted to know if you always win when you golf.
Do I always win?
Do you always win? Since you are our golf expert, they want to know if you always win.
I admittedly, I do not always win.
Oh.
I am working on it, though.
Okay. Well, when all you do is win, 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 no matter what, you give us a call, and we'll make sure to give you the proper accolades accordingly.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Joe Wolfrath, always a pleasure, sir. Enjoy your day, and we'll be chatting with you again in the near future.
Sounds great. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Joe Wolfrath, our golf insider here on the Bax Grant Sports Show. Always a great time getting a chance to speak with him, Grant. And,
yeah, always.
Golf is such a fun, interesting game. I've recently taken it up again. Golf and tennis I've tried to expand into. I don't know if that means I'm getting older or what.
Well,
I haven't taken up cigar smoking or brandy drinking yet, so I'm not completely old yet. But.
Well, I tried a round of golf up in North Dakota for a small 9-hole golf course, and struggle was real.
Struggle was real.
Not gonna lie, I haven't golfed for like 10 years. But
when we have the official Bax Grant Sports Show open, we will have to see. We'll have to get you out there. So, all right, we're gonna go to a break. When we come back, it's time for the favorite part of the show, Grant's Rant. You're not gonna want to miss it. This is the Bax Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. Welcome back to the Bax Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Grant.
It's Friday, Grant. I'm loving it. Are you loving it?
It's Friday.
Friday.
Loving it.
Absolutely.
Loving it. I love Friday. Who doesn't really?
That's why we have songs like TGIF. That's why we have,
Right.
Thank God It's the Weekend and Cheers to the Weekend. And we have restaurants named TGIFs, and people are excited about
songs
Friday.
like She's in Love with the Boy. And
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm a Barbie Girl. Oh, wait, we're not talking about those kind of songs?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Absolutely not.
My bad.
Stay with me, Grant. Stay with me.
I really try.
Do you
it's
try?
Friday.
Some
I go
days I
crazy.
really don't know exactly if you're all there.
I'm never there.
Why?
Never. I'm here or there.
Then everywhere. You're like a Dr. Seuss book. Oh, the places you'll go, Grant.
Not
Like
gonna
when you go to your rant.
All right, I'll accept it. I'll accept it. I'll accept that transition.
Okay. All right. Well, it is time for Grant's
I'll
rant.
accept it.
The part of the show where Grant gets 1 minute to come out and rant about anything he wants in the sports world, and then he gets a little bit of extra time once he's done ranting to hash out the details a wee bit more if he so chooses.
Right.
If he doesn't, we move on accordingly, and everyone wins. So I'm ready. If you're ready.
Well, yeah, I'm about to change it to rant about my computer just not cooperating with me
It's not worth
today,
it,
but-
Grant. It's not worth it. Don't
Oh,
give
no.
it the airtime it doesn't deserve.
It doesn't deserve you.
No, you're better than it, Grant. Just walk away. Anyway,
Never
minute
let
on
go.
You good?
Yeah, I'm great.
Minute on the clock. Here we go. Ready? Go.
Floyd Mayweather and Ronda Rousey have been in a recent social media spat where yesterday Ronda Rousey said that she earns 2 to 3 more times per second than Mayweather does, kind of basically putting out there that she's the better fighter and saying that she gets things done quicker, which I totally agree with because Mayweather just gets over there and hugs people. Yeah, and she's a boss. And then she adds on to that, when he learns to read and write, he can text me. which I'm like, oh boy, it's getting serious. But then Mayweather just commented back, big bank, take little bank. Let's play and see how much money you got. Last time I checked, I was number 1 on Forbes. In one night, with the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, Mayweather earned $420 million, and Rousey in 1 year only earned $3 million. So, yes, I don't think anybody is doubting that Rousey is the better fighter, but Mayweather definitely has the bank.
Well, last I checked, Floyd has got like 10 years on her.
Yeah,
so
that too.
Floyd's going to be that guy and be like, oh, I've been doing this longer. It's the classic case of if this were, Aaron Rodgers against who the heck? Who's a rookie? Jameis Winston.
Right.
Well, yeah, Aaron Rodgers has been in the league longer. Aaron Rodgers is established. He's making millions more dollars than Jameis Winston is. Well, I don't care how popular one of them is.
He did say, let's play, she will never be at my status, keep trying to get publicity. So what he's saying that he's kind of just bouncing off her publicity.
Yeah. People on Periscope are saying that Floyd needs to stop flaunting his money and no one cares because it's true. Let your actions speak in the ring. I did find it interesting. I saw this after the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. There was shots the next morning. There was Floyd, and there's a picture of Floyd, or it said like the difference between Mayweather and Pacquiao. There was Floyd, who was standing in front of like his fleet of cars and jets, like on a tarmac, and then the other picture was Pacquiao and his wife with a caption with like a picture he had tweeted out saying like "On our way to church, to God be the glory" or something like that. And it's like the difference between the two, and I was just like.
Right. Yeah.
Like I didn't. First of all, I didn't realize that Pacquiao was Christian, but I was like, that's awesome. I'm like, Pacquiao just, obviously made a ton of money too, but he was going to church with his wife the next morning. He wasn't, letting his material objects be bigger than who he is as a person, and especially above God.
Right. That's definitely the attitude that Mayweather takes. He puts his record into actually finessing the sport. I think the worst thing that ever happened to boxing was Floyd Mayweather.
Wow.
The worst thing.
That's some steep words to say, Grant.
It's
the worst
honestly,
thing that's ever happened to boxing is Floyd Mayweather.
Because all he's concerned of is himself, not bettering the sport. Just look at what happened with the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. The sport, in my opinion, was injured, not bettered by that fight because people were expecting a huge fight. But no, they basically just sat there and hugged themselves. And what they do, or what Mayweather has done, as he's protected his record, he has protected the career that he's built up, maybe in the beginning of his career, because he has had a lot of fights.
He has.
He's 38-0, I believe, or somewhere around there.
Yeah, he's got a long-standing record, yeah.
Yeah, so he, in years past, I'm not going to say that he hasn't been good for the sport, but more recently, so I'll maybe reform my statement a little bit.
Yeah.
More recently, he has been one of the worst things that could happen to the sport.
Since, Ali and Tyson, we needed that next great boxer, and I think Floyd has been that for some of the time at least.
But right now, his attitude and the way he's playing is not being great.
I agree. His attitude-wise, no. He needs to check himself at the door.
And the way he's, like his next opponent, his final opponent that he's been choosing, he chose somebody that he knew he could beat pretty much. If you read about it, it's somebody who, not in 100 years, you could really think could beat him. And there are some people that are saying, why don't you fight these certain people that are bigger tests for you?
He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to,
he doesn't want to lose.
Compromise his reputation.
And then why aren't you going to do that? Why aren't you going to give the boxing world?
Because he's at that point in his career where he doesn't care. He's made $300 million off of that fight. Nobody cares. Like, Floyd doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to go fight some young buck and know that I can definitely pick him apart and hug him for 12 rounds and then, make another few $1 million.
Yeah.
And then I can move on accordingly with my life.
Yeah, and I'm saying that's not good for the sport.
Well, I understand that, but Floyd doesn't care about the sport anymore.
Yeah,
Floyd
and that's why I'm saying
he's not.
And that's why I'm saying he's not good for the sport. He should just be done. He should just get out because he's hurting the boxing world. And the boxing world has given him all this money, all this fame, and he should be giving back to it. And it really, just looking at other sports, on how players respect the sport and they play to give everything to the sport just because they love to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And some players, they make lots of money, but they make it known that it's a lot more than the money.
Yes.
Floyd Mayweather makes it about the money.
It's always been about the money.
That's
Floyd.
kind of that's the big difference separating from him and other athletes.
Yes. And I think one person that comes to mind for me that makes it obviously not about the money is Drew Brees from the Saints. He's a big family man, and I think that it's awesome. Even Tom Brady, I think, too. They're very active on social media with their families. Like, if Tom Brady's kids do something cute or funny, he makes sure to post about it. When there was some challenge, some push-up challenge or something, Drew Brees had him and all his kids, doing push-ups on the floor of their kitchen, together for the video. He had, I think, his, 1-year-old daughter, on his back, he was doing
nice.
push-ups, and he had, his 2 little guys, next to him doing push-ups, too. They're getting paid millions of dollars. Those guys are set. Their kids are set. Probably their kids are set.
Right.
But they don't care. They do it because they love the game, they love their families, and they do it to help build the game.
And then even looking at, I'm going to play the bias card, you go and look at Aaron Rodgers, and it's probably more prevalent or more knowledgeable for people that live in the area because they play the itsaaron.com commercials.
I think those are cool, yeah.
And if you actually go and look, it's him and talking to a girl one of the videos that I watched, her twin died of cancer or something like that, pediatric cancer. And so they went about and went knocking on doors and just meeting people in Wisconsin and just bringing up awareness for it. Mm-hmm. And that's how he spends his time, and he is really active. And tons of athletes are really active in their foundations, and they start foundations.
Which is good. You need to be able to do that.
I've never heard of Mayweather doing anything like that.
No, not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, when Floyd starts to, step away from the money aspect of it and actually try to help benefit others.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, CPLAF 10 Periscope makes a good point, saying that it's his business and he's the one that's making his money, so he really shouldn't care. And he was saying that he's not agreeing with that, but that's a side that you could take on.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, it's all, at the end of the day, it's just business.
Yeah.
This is his job. And that's the hard thing I think people forget about in sports sometimes, too, is that these athletes, this is their job.
Yeah.
If you were a multi-billion-dollar owner in a company for some reason and I question your morals, well, doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing bad at what you're doing, though.
Right.
Like Floyd, if this is his job, Floyd's doing his job. And he's getting paid accordingly.
To hug people.
Hey, I'd take $300 million to hug you for 12 rounds.
I mean, I would too.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, it's time to debut a new segment on the show. Sam Wallace is here. He's going to talk about some running tips for you guys out there that want to, get off the couch and not sit around all day. Don't be a couch potato. Get out there, run a little bit. So we're going to talk about that, and then later on, we're still got a Name 5 showdown between the USA and England. You're not going to want to miss it.
USA.
Start the chants. Do you believe in miracles? Oh, that's not we. That's
I'm sorry. I feel the weight of the country on my shoulders.
The entire United States of America is resting on your shoulders.
I don't want to let us down.
You'll be fine. You'll figure out what we're talking about a little bit later. We'll be right back. This is the Bax Grant Sports Show. Welcome back to the Bax Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax. Grant has stepped out of the studio. He said this is Grant from across the studio, but he had to pass his headset over to a good friend of the show, Sam Wallace, who will be helping us with some tips for running. So welcome to the show, Sam. It's great to have you on.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Well, Sam, before we just start talking about running, let's get a little background of why you're qualified to talk about something like running. I mean, anybody can run, Sam, but you've got a special background or part of it, I guess.
Special background in running. Let's see. Well, I started running cross country in my 4th grade year of elementary school.
Okay, wow.
So I did cross country 4th through 8th grade at my middle school, elementary school, and ran 4 years of cross country in high school. Also did track as well, and have run collegiate NCAA Division III cross country at Wisconsin Lutheran College for the last 3.5, 4, now going on 5 years.
Wow.
My last year of eligibility. So.
Fantastic. Wow. How's the team looking so far this year?
Good. Looking really well. We have our 2 top returning men, and we have a great incoming class of freshman women, so we're looking to build some depth and see where the season takes us.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic, Sam. So for running aspect, you've been doing it for years, so it comes second nature to you. You've put on miles on your...
Got 12 in this morning, so...
Oh, jeez. I think I drove 12 miles to get here this morning. My gosh. So you ran 12 miles this morning, which within itself is ridiculous. So congratulations for that. I don't know if I could run 12. I could run 12 miles. I would not be able to walk for a week, but I could run it if I absolutely needed to.
That's good.
So how do you, for someone that's starting off, so say you're somebody that just graduated college, you want to get back into the running world. How do you do it without killing yourself? Because you want to obviously build up your tolerance, but you don't want to go full out the first day you're back out there.
No, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing is for new runners is to keep them from getting too excited, like you said. The biggest thing is consistency, getting out the door, doing short runs every couple days, and just being patient with it. That's the biggest thing. The most injuries occur to new runners in the first few weeks when they try to do overtraining, try to do too much. But with anything else, like you said, you're building your endurance, you're building up your tolerance level, you're letting your body adjust to a different sort of physical activity. So,
how do you, or what would you recommend in terms of a good way to build your tolerance? So you said do short runs. What do you classify as a short run? So if I want to get out, and do I go for a mile run, a 5-mile run? What's a short run?
I mean, for you, you're a generally athletic person.
I try to be.
To say the least. For someone who I would say is a total couch potato and has never really done anything athletic before, I know we're both looking at Grant across the studio, but just going out for, walk for 10 minutes, run for 5. Walk for 10 minutes, run for 5. Take a day off, come back, maybe run for 7 minutes, walk for 5. Things like that. It's never a bad thing to take too small of steps as long as you're moving forward.
Fair enough. That is true. I think some things that I've heard in different workouts that I've done too, the hardest part of the workout is just starting it. Having that part of saying, yes, I'm going to do it today. For different videos that I've been a part of too, it's like it's just pressing play too. Like if you can press play to do the workout, that's huge. It gets you. It's miles more than just sitting on the couch. So you've been running for a long time, Sam. You've developed probably several running habits. I think one thing that most people that they think of runners is they've got a lot of time on their hands when they're running. Like what goes through a runner's head when you're out there just chugging along, especially cross country? What are you thinking about what you're going to have for dinner? You thinking about your fantasy football team?
Sometimes.
Sometimes thinking about the guy in front of you that he needs new shoes. Like what do you guys do out there?
Well, for just the general long run with the team, we're chatting with each other, we're keeping it relaxed, we're keeping it pretty low key. So those runs are easy. The time flies by, the miles kind of fly by, you don't even really notice it. But I think the biggest thing for really competitive runners on race day, you're able just to literally let your mind go blank. It's a lot easier said than done, and I mean, I still work on it in some days, but the less you think about what you're doing, the better you will be at it, especially with running when you get to that competitive collegiate level. I've had my best races where I think back now and I really don't remember a whole lot of it because I was just kind of locked in the zone. I'm sure a lot of athletes can say, when they're in the zone and they're really just performing at their top level, things just happen. Yeah. Things just happen naturally.
It becomes naturally. Yeah. That's happened to me before too, just playing sports. Like I've played soccer for 19 years and I could barely recount almost any of my games because it becomes so natural to you after a while. You're just like, oh, I knew I played a game, but even like walking off the field, be like, hey, do you remember that play? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember doing any of that.
Some of my best collegiate races, I would cross the finish line and think and be like, I'm not sure what happened in the last chunk of time. You're like, I was listening to Joel's segment earlier on the show and like what he was talking about, how your mind and your brain just do things naturally after a while. Yeah. So when I get to the starting line of a big race or a big meet, my mind automatically knows what it's doing. I can just focus. I'm worried about my pace, where my teammates are, things like that. But the bare necessities, other than that, I'm just running.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. So for new runners, some people are worried about this. I'm sure not all are. But how important is it to have a specific certain type of shoe?
That is huge.
Okay.
One thing I talk to people about who are looking to get into running is they say, well, is it expensive? Like some sports need a lot of equipment, for if you want to be a football player,
yeah.
Sometimes that's provided by wherever you're playing, but you need the helmet, the shoulder pads, the cleats, the uniform. I mean, for running, you need a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, but the one thing I would never ever skimp on is a pair of shoes.
Okay.
For the amount of pounding you do on your feet, I mean, it's all on your feet.
Exactly. It's like a good pair of tires on your car. If you're
Exactly.
driving a long time, you've got to have a good pair of shoes on your feet for all the miles you're putting on them.
Exactly. If you have a really nice car, the car can be as great as you want it, but if it can't drive, it's not worth anything.
Exactly.
But for me, getting a proper shoe fitted, and you can do that at a lot of good running stores, especially here in the greater Milwaukee area. There's a lot of really good places that I go, and I have a personal favorite out in Brookfield, and they put you on a treadmill, they analyze your stride, analyze your gait, they bring you a few pairs of shoes, look at the arch type you have on your foot, and find a pair that really, really fits for you.
Wow. That's fantastic. I mean, I guess I didn't realize that there was such an in-depth science to choosing a pair of shoes. Well, that's fantastic. One other question, like just from a running perspective, how long does it take you to go through a pair of shoes? From the time you get to break them out of that box, that new shoe smell, to the time you're like, yeah, these are done.
Let's see. Probably in my peak training, either the end of summer into the cross-country season, into the heart of September and October, I can go through a brand new pair of shoes in under 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you average mileage on those shoes usually?
Generally, people say 500 to 700 miles per pair of shoes. Sometimes I stretch them a little bit. That's probably not best, but again, I say I never skimp on shoes, but shoes are expensive.
Absolutely.
But you really start to feel it in your shins and your ankles when you start to really, really need a new pair of shoes. But other than that, generally I would say about 2 to 3 months, but it can be shorter than that if I'm really pouring the miles on.
Wow, that's incredible. All right, well, before we let you go then, Sam, if you could offer one bit of advice, since we will dive more so into it next week, but a good piece of advice for someone that wants to just go out and just do some weekend running, what would be some tips that you'd throw their way? Some
tips I would throw their way would be just relax. Take your time. Don't feel like you have to run the entire time. Take walking breaks. Be hydrated. Get sleep. Just kind of a general thing with any other athletic sport. Take care of your body, and it'll take care of you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Sam, always a pleasure. We'll see you again next week, sir.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate your tips on some running. If you like what you hear with Sam, let us know. We appreciate the feedback. You can let us know on Facebook and Twitter. And you're on Twitter also, aren't you, Sam?
Absolutely.
Where are you on Twitter?
Would be at handle Samway SAMWAE 22.
All right, at Samway22. Sam Wallace, always a pleasure, sir. We appreciate you stopping by, and we'll be chatting with you again in the future.
Absolutely, thank you.
No problem. Sam Wallace, our newest member of the Bax Grant Sports Show family. We appreciate him joining us. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going international. We're hopping across the pond. Simon Mitchell, our European soccer correspondent, is going to be jumping on the phone with us to talk about the Champions League draw and what to look forward to with the upcoming group games. This is the Bax Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. Welcome back to the Bax Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Grant.
All right, Grant. Did you take some solid notes when Sam Wallace was on the show talking about running?
Yes, I was. But hey, I just want to point out when you were saying couch potato who's not athletic, and you looked at me.
I was gandering in the general direction of the studio.
Multiple sports. I've played multiple sports.
Well, that's great. Do you play them now, though?
No, I do not play them now, but I have.
Well, I have also, but
I played
still
multiple.
play.
I played basketball for 8 years.
Really?
Yep.
What were you, a small forward?
I was the bench warmer, but I mean that's fine.
Water boy, more traditionally known as the water boy. Yeah. Well, it's different between playing sports then and now.
I know,
you're
but
playing
I still,
soccer though. You'll be in the fall soccer league that I'm in also, so that'll be good for you.
And I played soccer
just a few days ago. You played it on Monday.
And last spring when we had
that's right. You played futsal also. So we're working on breaking you into the soccer world. So, but this is not a dig, but you're a goalie. You're not on the field running around.
Rude.
You're not running around like a midfielder or a forward. You're not putting on the same kind of mileage that I am.
Yeah, but it's still tiring.
I suppose.
Still tiring. You still have to get your muscles ready, and it's a lot of energy, okay? I don't know how, but I still get tired.
We'll work with you. We're going to work on your soccer endurance. Goalies do work hard. I mean, Tim Howard comes to mind. Peter Cech, a lot of
yeah, he's sweating at the end of the game.
He
so
is.
I don't even.
Well, that's because the U.S. defense is spotty.
Truth.
That's irrelevant and not that. It's not that time right now. It is time to keep talking about soccer, though.
Yes, it is.
And we are bringing back. You didn't get a chance to experience him over the summer while you were gone, but we were able to introduce another new guest to the show, a European soccer correspondent for us, specifically focusing on the EPL. Fun fact: he's also a Chargers and a White Sox fan.
Interesting.
I know, so let that blow your mind for a moment. Straight from Norwich in the United Kingdom, we like to welcome in Simon Mitchell to the program. Simon, welcome, sir. How are you?
Hey, Bax. Hey, Grant. I'm great to see you. And just for the listeners, I'm sounding a lot brighter today because it's actually 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK and not 2 o'clock in the morning like it was last time.
Yeah. We've had when we did our summer shows, they were later on at the night and Sundays, and I was like, Simon, you can stay up if you want. He's like, oh yeah, no problem. And it's like 2 a.m. So he was very
what a trooper.
He is. So Simon, you win the summer MVP award. I feel like for doing those 2 a.m. shows for us. That's real commitment.
I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you.
I just want to say one thing after Grant's rant earlier.
Okay, please.
About Floyd Mayweather.
Ooh, I'm curious now.
Floyd Mayweather is great for boxing, but he has ruined boxing. After he beat De La Hoya, he was the best thing to happen to boxing. He was Showtime. He brought in the big bucks. He got people interested. But since the De La Hoya fight and the fact that he dodged Pacquiao for 5 years means that he's gone down in everybody's estimations. But you're talking about undefeated boxers. I'm going to give you 2 names that should have both fought Mayweather. Kell Brook from the UK and Golovkin from Russia, or I think he's Kazakhstani. Those 2 guys would have given Mayweather they would have taken they would have quite happily have smashed him down.
Oh.
So those are the 2 guys that they should have kept an eye on. But Grant, I agree with you. He is the worst thing to happen to boxing in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I'm not crazy.
No,
I'm not
I didn't
crazy.
say you were crazy. But I didn't say you were smart
Once
either.
I revised it, because then I was
that
thinking,
initial statement.
Yeah,
was
initially
I
was like, yeah, okay, overall, his career, he did some good. But yes, later, and he has really hurt the boxing.
Yes. No, I agree. All right. Well, Simon, we are chatting about the UEFA Champions League draw. I feel like we need like that theme song in the background, the champions or whatever they do. I think it's high pitched. I don't know. I just pretend to sing it. Anyway, sorry to break the listeners' ears for doing that one. Do you have any initial reactions from the draw last night, Simon?
Well, I mean, what you always look for in any football tournament group draw, whether it's the World Cup, the Euros, the Gold Cup, or the Champions League, there's always the group of death.
Yes.
The difficult group, the group that's got all of the big guns in it. And this year is no different. Now, I've taken a good look, and I believe that this year's tough group is Group D, which is last year's finalists, Juventus, and probably already the Italian Serie A champions of this year, even though they've only played 1 game.
Calling it out
Manchester City, who have played 3-1-3 in the Premier League in the UK.
Yep.
Sevilla, who have won the last 2 Europa Leagues on the bounce,
Mm-hmm.
and behind Barcelona and Real Madrid are probably the best choice for third place. And the surprise package, which is Borussia Mönchengladbach, a team that I used to keep an eye on purely because of the name Borussia Mönchengladbach when I was younger.
Absolutely. I was going to say, I was like, Grant and I looked at each other, we're like, wow. Like,
I gave you an
Borussia
applause.
Mönchengladbach.
did you like work on that in the mirror this morning, like before you had to say it? Like, how do
No,
you?
I studied German at high school, so
Oh, okay. So they're a
I haven't
Bundesliga team
spoken
then.
it since.
Okay, but hey, you still
So-
the accent was spot on.
So that is my pick of the group of death. And the opening day fixtures, first round on Tuesday, the 15th of September, Manchester City versus Juventus.
Ooh, big game.
That's the game to watch. If you're going to pick any one game of the Champions League, that's the one you want to see.
Mm-hmm. No, I would have to agree with you on that one. When I saw the predictions come out and I saw Group D, I was like, all right, yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting. But as I was speaking on a different show last night, a soccer show here on Sports Radio America, that I feel that it's going to be Juventus and Sevilla that are going to escape Group D because of how Sevilla's played in Europa the last few years. And I just feel that when it comes to Champions League, that Manchester City, not everything just doesn't always come together for them, and I think Sevilla is going to be able to surprise them and capitalize and sneak away with winning the group. Not necessarily winning the group, but getting out of the group.
Well, there was one thing that you're missing out of with Manchester City is that they've spent, when they signed Kevin De Bruyne, who's expected to sign today, they're going to have spent over £100 million in this transfer window.
Pocket change.
So I think they've not just bought £100 million worth of squad, they've bought some very, very good players. Raheem Sterling is a very good player on his day.
Yep.
He's unplayable. Yaya Toure and Vincent Kompany, who both decided to have a year off last year, have both come out firing. And when you've got arguably the best striker, the best goal scorer in the world in Sergio Aguero, when those three are hungry, you've got Kompany, Yaya Toure, and Aguero. They're hungry. They want to win. I think Man City could be a dark horse this year. Champions League dark horse.
Now, I'm curious to get your opinion on this. I was speaking with a friend yesterday. He was saying that he believes neither Barcelona or Real Madrid will win this year. He didn't necessarily say that they won't make it to the final, but he doesn't believe that it's going to be a Barcelona or Real Madrid champion this year. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's going to be coming from England or even Bayern Munich, the German machine?
I mean, Manchester United are back in the Champions League, but I'm not sure they're going to win. From England, Manchester City are a dark horse. If they can get it working, they are a very good team. Chelsea are all over the place.
Yes.
They've signed Pedro. They're trying to sign another defender.
John Stones, maybe.
John Stones. I've had the news on this morning. It's not happening.
Okay.
It's not going to happen, which I'm quite disappointed in because Tottenham are playing Everton on Saturday, and John Stones is a brilliant defender. I was hoping he would have been sold.
Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't have to deal with him.
But I mean, this is from what I hear, from what I understand. Bayern Munich's manager Pep Guardiola. This is his last year at Bayern. This is his last chance.
That's what I've been hearing too.
I think he's going to go all out for the Champions League. Again, the Bundesliga is a given. It's like Serie A. Juventus will win Serie A. Bayern Munich will win the Bundesliga.
Yes.
Like Paris Saint-Germain will win Ligue 1 in France.
Mm-hmm.
Bayern Munich are going to go all out, all guns blazing. They've signed some good players. Douglas Costa is a brilliant signing because Frank Ribery last year, they just couldn't get anybody to cover that wing. And Douglas Costa is a brilliant signing. So Bayern Munich are my favourites.
To win it all?
To win the Champions League, yeah. I can't see... I'm looking at the other groups. I'm looking at the other teams. You can't look past Barcelona and Real Madrid.
No, it'd be foolish
Barcelona,
to.
Again, they've got a transfer ban. They've signed Arda Turan from Atletico Madrid. He's a brilliant player.
Mm-hmm.
He can't play for them until January. So if you imagine having one of the best players from La Liga for the last couple of years, he's fresh, not played at all. He's going to drop into your team, probably just to play the Champions League. Barcelona could be a force. They will always be a force.
Absolutely.
Bayern Munich is where my money is.
I think until Lionel Messi is, completely retired, Barcelona will still always be a force, personally.
Yeah, we've talked about Messi before. Messi will retire, but playing for the Barcelona team, he'll drop from the front, he'll drop further back, he'll become a holding midfielder. He's got the passing, he's got the vision, he's got the footballing knowledge. He will be playing until he's 40 years old. He'll be playing in the MLS in 10 years' time.
Hey, I would love it. Maybe we can get Messi and Ronaldo both on the same team for once. That would be awesome.
I think between you and me, you'll see Ronaldo will be playing MLS in the next 2 years.
Yes. No, that's actually what I've been hearing too. I think that he has ties to, well, he bought an apartment in New York, but he's been linked to the LA teams.
You see, the problem with Ronaldo is he is a Nike man. And the MLS is an Adidas league.
Oh, that could be controversial.
That's something that's a commercial aspect that Ronaldo went to Real Madrid as a Nike man. Real Madrid are an Adidas team, and that's worked out. So that's one thing you may want to look at.
Do you think that is that going to affect him coming over, though?
I think that the kit manufacturers, the sponsors, spend a lot of money to get the players over. Hence the reason why the New York Red Bulls have got all of the big players, the same as the LA Galaxy. Steven Gerrard went to the LA Galaxy because he's an Adidas man and has been for over 10 years.
Wow.
His wages, whatever needs funding, would have come via Adidas to get into the league. Same as Frank Lampard. He was an Adidas man as well.
At Chelsea, yep. Wow. I don't know why I never thought of that, and that makes just 100%
The only reason why I look
now.
at it is because Tottenham is currently sponsored by Under Armour.
Oh, that's right.
Under Armour manufacture the Tottenham kit, but that contract's up when we move into our new stadium. Mm-hmm. Nike have lost Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City they have in the UK. But we're hearing that Nike are going to take the naming rights of the new Tottenham stadium purely because they manufacture all of the kit, the jerseys for the NFL, and Tottenham have got the NFL franchise in the new stadium.
That's right. That's everything that continues to move with that. So
anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine. No, it's interesting perspectives for that. I appreciate you shedding some light on that. Okay, so looking at these groups the way they stand right now, let's walk through all the groups really fast and give me your two teams that are going to move out, in your opinion. So Group A, you've got Real Madrid, PSG, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Malmo. Who do you got moving out of that one?
Here's a shock for you. I've got Paris and Shakhtar.
Really?
I think Real Madrid are going to fall miserably this year.
Interesting. On what grounds?
Rafael Benitez, Ronaldo.
Fair enough.
That's it.
That's a good
Benitez
argument.
plays a very defensive game. Nobody likes the defensive game at Real Madrid, least let alone Ronaldo. He's moved Gareth Bale into the left wing where Ronaldo plays. Ronaldo doesn't like it.
Okay.
That will affect Real Madrid.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree. All right. Group B, you've got Manchester United, Wolfsburg, CSKA, Moscow, and PSV.
I say PSV. It's a difficult one. Man United will win the group, but it depends on Wolfsburg. They're going to sell De Bruyne. They've only got Schürrle. Depends on who they bring in. If they bring in a big name, it'll be Wolfsburg. PSV sold Depay to Manchester United, Memphis Depay. I would say at this stage, Manchester United and Wolfsburg.
Okay, good to know. Group C, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Galatasaray, and Astana.
Oh, Astana. Big team from Kazakhstan. No, Atletico Madrid and Benfica.
Yes.
Both have got fantastic European pedigree.
Absolutely. Group D, you've got Man City, Juventus, Sevilla, and you're going to have to say it for me.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yes, exactly. I just hope they'd make it through just to hear the commentators try to struggle with that.
The money there is on Juventus and Man City.
Okay, fair enough. Group E, Barcelona, Bayer Leverkusen, AS Roma, and Bad Borisov.
Barcelona and Roma.
Interesting. You don't feel like the Leverkusen would be able to make a sneak out?
Leverkusen just sold their best player to Tottenham.
That'll do it, so I'm sure you're thankful for that. Group F, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Olympiacos, and GNK Dinamo.
Dinamo Zagreb from Croatia. Olympiacos have just signed 45-year-old Esteban Cambiaso from Leicester. I don't think they're going through, so Bayern and Arsenal.
Yep, I agree with you. Oh, goodness, the fans are not happy.
That'll be the dog.
Of course. Chelsea, FC Porto, Dynamo Kiev, and Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Chelsea, most definitely. They are they'll always go through. It's Jose Mourinho.
Yep.
Then I'm going to say Porto.
Okay. And then in Group H to wrap it up, we have Valencia, Leon, Zenit, and Ghent.
Again, that's a tough one because Zenit are walking over the Russian league. They've got Andrei Villas-Boas is his manager. Valencia have got a lot of money invested in them from the Far East, and Leon are just a good European team. But Leon like the Europa League, so Zenit and Valencia.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first. Well, we are going to go to a break, Simon. When we come back, you are going to be taking on Grant in a little bit of Name 5 action. Grant is shaking in his boots to see what kind of British firepower you're able to bring. Are you excited to play Name 5?
I'm excited to play Name 5, but I have said I know nothing about ice hockey.
Well, I made sure not to include it because that's Grant's forte, so I didn't want to make... There'll be no soccer questions and no hockey questions, so that way everybody is fair. So we're going to go to a break. When we come back, Simon, we will be playing Name 5, so don't go anywhere. Hang on the line.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, we're going to go to a break like you just heard. When we come back, it's going to be time for a Name 5 showdown. This is the Bax Grant Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. Welcome back to the Bax and Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Grant.
All right, Grant, it's Friday, which means, obviously, that the week is almost over, but it also means that it is Name 5 Friday.
I'm so glad to play this again, even though it was extremely stressful and just scary.
It is.
I'm ready.
All right, well, for those of you that don't know what Name 5 is, Name 5 is a game that we made up here on the Bax and Grant Sports Show, and the way it works is our contestants, who this week will be Grant Coppersmith, and our British correspondent, Simon Mitchell. As I billed it earlier, Simon, it is the reenactment of the Revolutionary War, unless that's just too soon, and I don't need to, and that's politically offensive to either of you.
No, I think it was a long time ago.
Okay, if we can all just move on from it, I think we'll be okay. But it's
set our differences aside.
It's USA, England, in Name 5, and the way the game works, for those of you listening at home, our contestants will be given a category. So this is just an example. So I would say Name 5 NHL players. Our contestants will be given 10 seconds to name 5. They get 1 point for each correct answer. Once they name 5, they stop. And then we do this for 5 rounds. However, the catch is that as players are going, so say Grant names his 5, Simon cannot use any of the 5 players that Grant said. If he does, he doesn't get the point. He has to keep going. I'll make sure to say or no or whatever if somebody repeats a name. So it's pretty straightforward. We play 5 rounds. We've got 5 categories, 2 players. It makes sense to everybody involved?
Yep, makes sense.
All right.
So.
Well, Simon, you are the new guest, so I will make you go second, so that way Grant can just kind of lay out the foundation for you. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right. Well, Grant, with 10 seconds on the clock, the first category today is name 5 Major League Baseball teams. Go.
The Cardinals, the Brewers, the White Sox, the Red Sox, and the Yankees.
There we go. Time's up. Well done. Grant gets all 5 points in his first round. Simon, were you keeping track of the teams that he said?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think so.
All right. We'll find out as we go along. 10 seconds on the clock. Are you ready, Simon?
Yes.
Ready, go.
LA Angels, LA Dodgers, Chicago Cubs, Detroit Tigers, Toronto Blue Jays.
Boom, 5 for
Nice.
5.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, we are 5-5 moving into the second round. Simon, you will start this round. All right, the name of this round, Simon, is name, I'll make sure that this is something that you're familiar with before I say it, though. College mascots, do you know what I'm saying when I say that? Like college teams, mascots?
So you're saying college football mascots?
Yes, football, basketball, etc.
Okay, this is going to be fun because I know about 4, I think.
Okay, well, I just want to. Well, I have a different one in case because I want to make sure you have a fair shot.
No. Let's give it a go. I'm playing in the States, so I may as well try and do the best I can.
Fair enough. Okay, well, 10 seconds on the clock. Get set and go.
Right, I know that there is Albert E. Gator
Okay.
in the University of Florida. There is, I can't remember the name of the eagle that's at Boston. There's definitely an eagle there. It's probably called Brian or something.
Time's up. I think you're okay. We're gonna hang on. I think we had a miscommunication on this. I was talking about, so for an example, like just the name. So Wisconsin Badgers. Like the Badgers is the mascot.
I thought you actually wanted the name of the mascot.
No, I don't even know.
I thought you wanted the name of the mascot,
Really?
too. Yeah, I was like, oh, jeez.
No,
All I know
no.
is Bucky.
College
That's what I mean.
mascots.
I definitely knew I knew the alligator.
Okay.
It's called Albert E. Gator.
I was impressed by that. No. I'm sorry. We'll try that again. Yeah, it's just the mascot. So, like I said, for an example, the Wisconsin Badgers. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So everybody's on the same page now.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
good.
we'll try that one more time with you, Simon. Sorry, I realized that I was not very good at explaining that. So 10 seconds on the clock again. Ready, Simon, and begin.
Well, you've got the Gators, you've got the Badgers, you've got the Buffaloes, the Timberwolves, the Bulldogs,
Time's up.
and
Can
how did I do?
That was where. If you said for the Timberwolves, where? What college are they associated with?
I don't know, Timberwolves. I'm sure there's a Timberwolves somewhere. Is it probably Montana or something like that?
Fair enough. Well, I can give you 4 because I know there are no Timberwolves to my knowledge. There's a professional basketball team called the Timberwolves, but
I knew there was a Timberwolves somewhere.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's a Minnesota basketball team.
Yes. All right.
Professional.
All right, Grant, your turn. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
And begin.
Got the Buckeyes, the Cornhuskers, the Tigers, the Ducks, and the Christmas trees, the pine
Time's
trees.
up.
Stanford.
Stanford.
Yeah, they're the trees.
Stanford trees. You're correct. All right. That's 5. Congratulations. All right. Grant, you'll be leading off this round. You are going to be naming 5 NFL defensive players. Ready? Go.
Got Clay Matthews, you got Sam Shields, you have Nick Burnett, you have J.J. Watt, and you have Trent
Time's up.
Palomalo.
Nope, doesn't count.
All right.
You'll only get 4.
Sounds good.
All right, Simon. Name 5 NFL defensive players, past or present. Got it?
Yeah, let's go.
Ready? Go.
Justin Houston, Von Miller, Richard Sherman, Darrell Revis, DeAndre Levy, Gerald McCoy.
Time's up. Good job. You got 5. Well done, sir. Well done. All right, Simon, this one is in your court. No pun intended for the next category. I need you to name 5 NBA players. Name 5 NBA players. We're going to go with current. 5 current 5 current
NBA players. Can I just pick the Raptors and just go for James Johnson, Corey Joseph, Kyle Lowry, Norman Powell, and Terrence Ross?
Boom, there you go, just like that.
And that's why I like the Raptors. I
Fair.
didn't disclose that to you earlier.
I didn't know that you were a Raptors fan. Okay, Grant, are you ready?
Sure.
On your mark, get set, go.
You have LeBron James, you have Stephen Curry, you have Rose, you have Durant, and you have...
Time.
I couldn't think of that one.
Only 4 for Grant. The door is open.
Yeah, it is.
The door is open. Going into the last round. Grant, you will be taking point on this one. Are you ready, sir? You are going
Sure.
to be naming 5 sports movies. On your mark, get set, and go.
You have Sandlot, Miracle, Friday Night Lights, Angels in the Outfield.
Time. You got 4. Simon, are you catching on what we're saying in terms of sports movies?
Sports movies.
Like
Yes, here we go.
sports-themed movies. All right. On your mark, get set, go.
You've got Any Given Sunday, The Last Boy Scout, Caddyshack, Major League, and The Bad News Bears.
Boom. Well done.
I also thought of Slapshot.
Slapshot.
There was one.
Oh, there we go.
Slapshot. That's a film.
Well, our final score, that does not reflect how things went during the Revolutionary War, thankfully. Otherwise, we'd all have a bit of an accent with us. Simon defeats Grant in his first ever Name 5 appearance with a score of 24. So congratulations, Simon, for making an impact right away. Grant, you end up with 22. So
Close.
Not
It was
bad.
close. It was close.
Not bad
Hey,
at all.
hey. You know, the internet's a wonderful thing.
Fair enough. We'll have to use that for our future reference. Well, Simon, thank you for coming on the show this week. We appreciate you stopping by, and we look forward to having you on the show again in the future.
Yeah, no, it's been an absolute pleasure. And just to let you guys know that the England under-21s are playing the USA under-23s in Preston next week, and I will be there.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we'd love to hear your insights on it once you attend the game, sir.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. Keep up the good work, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too, Simon. Simon Mitchell, our European soccer correspondent, and this week's Name 5 champion.
Man, that was close.
How does that feel, Grant?
That was close.
That's the thing with Name 5. It's always
It
a
gets
toss-up.
so stressful. Like, I could just think of them, and then... But
Like
no,
now,
it's
if we were to
gone.
go back and just like ask
I
you
can,
the same question.
Kevin Love. That's another one.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Jabari Parker, Giannis.
Oh, yeah.
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 I know. And he just blew through the Toronto Raptors starting 5 like
Yeah.
it was no big deal.
Oh, wow.
Happens. Name 5, always a good time. Our show, always a good time, Grant. Our 5th and final edition of this week is in the bag, so thank you so much for all of you that have tuned in. Apologies for those of you that were watching us on Periscope. My iPad decided to just stop doing life and just died.
Just gave up.
Just gave up. It didn't die. It closed Periscope and was like, no, you're done.
Get out of here.
My iPad's ready.
Forget
my
about it.
iPad's ready for the weekend, Grant.
Yeah.
I think we all are. So thank you. Special thanks to Joe Wolfrath for chatting with us earlier about the golf world, and Jordan Spieth as well. Special thanks to Sam Wallace for stopping by and offering some running tips for us as well. And then you just also heard from Simon Mitchell on the Champions League draw, and also our new Name 5 champion for the week, as well as he defeats Grant by a score of 24-22. Grant, I'm excited for the weekend. I'm going to relax and just hang out with my family for the weekend. How about you?
About the same.
Fantastic.
About the same.
We
Actually,
gotta-
I'm going to a wedding, actually.
Oh, there you
so,
go.
Yeah.
Get your dancing shoes ready.
Oh, yeah,
We're
for
excited. So, for all of you out there, enjoy your weekend. Remember, you can catch us right here Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 a.m. Central live on Spreaker.com, and then from 11 to 1 Central on Sports Radio America Live 365, and tune in. And then over on social media, Grant, we're all over the place.
Yeah, we are. You can find us on Facebook at the Bax Grant Sports Show, or you can find us on Twitter, Snapchat, or Instagram at BG Sports Show. That is at BG Sports Show. Also, Baxter's personal Twitter is at Baxter Colburn, and mine is at Grant's Rant, BGSS.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to all of you that tuned in this week. We will see all of you again bright and early on Monday morning, 7 a.m. We look forward to it. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Be good. This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America.